team is wonderful. They are the best people I can ever think of if I had to hire somebody. That's my best takeaway, the people that I got to meet.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Elizabeth Zavala. We are the Gatekeepers, and our product is PAPS, which stands for Password Analyzer for Protection and Security. PAPS is based on a patented algorithm that generates secure and memorable passwords. It is also cloud-based. It's also a cloud-based service that can be easily integrated into any platform. I have a question for you. Do any of you have an online account that requires a password? By show of hand. Okay, well, I have some good news and some bad news. The bad news is that it takes a person an average of 10 minutes to generate a secure and memorable password. It also takes 10 minutes for a 6-character password to get hacked. And 90% of those passwords that we create on our own are not safe. The great news is PAPS is here to help. We generate secure and memorable passwords in a quick and efficient way. I would like to now show you a quick video that's going to show you the need for our product.
Passwords and usernames.
Here's an important question. How safe is your computer password?
Massive internet hack.
Huge.
So this leaked 2 million passwords from sites, and we've got a list of them here. Facebook, Gmail, Twitter, Yahoo.
Today, we're going to talk about password strength. But before we do, let's do an experiment. Ready? Count to 6. Do you know what you just did? You just cracked the world's most popular password.
Strong passwords help to prevent malicious people from accessing your information. A good password is hard for other people to guess, but easy for you to remember.
When I set a password, I want it to be safe, and it needs to be easy to memorize.
Whatever you're logging into, having a unique, strong password is essential.
Motorola recently announced that it's developing some authentication alternatives, electronic tattoos, and sensors that, when swallowed, send signals from your stomach.
Okay, you're probably wondering, how does this work? It's very easy. First, I'd like to preface that this service is going to be customized for each company that we sell it to. So keep in mind, please, that they're going to set their own restrictions, and they're going to have their own questions that they're going to want to ask their employees and so on. But the general idea is the same. As you saw towards the end of our video, I filled out a form, I answered 3 questions, I clicked on submit, and I got a pop-up window with a choice of passwords that I could choose from. Now, the passwords that were generated came from the answers that I gave on the form. So platoon, water, and 1245 were the 3 answers that I gave. Based on that, I got a list of passwords. Now, if I didn't like any of these passwords, I would just click on more here at the bottom of the pop-up window, and I would get a new set of passwords that I could choose from, and so on and so on. I personally chose the Tune 1245, which is checked off, because I know for me personally, that's the password that I like and that I'm going to remember. Everybody has their own ideas of what they want to remember or they're going to remember. This is the password that's going to work for me personally. As far as our competitors, they pretty much did the same thing. Every one of them that we tested did the same thing. They generated a random password based on random numbers, characters. You're not going to remember that password because it's a random password. The passwords we generate are based on answers that you give. We're also competitively priced at $12 a year per user, as opposed to, let's say, one of our competitors here who are charging $20 an average per year per user. And again, they don't do what we do. They're giving you generic random passwords that you are not going to remember. Also, some of the competitors have a limit in terms of the number of passwords that you can generate. We don't do that. As far as our market opportunity is at a global level, just think about it. There's billions of internet users in the world right now. We are going to focus on U.S. companies that have 50 to 5,000 employees, expecting to grab 7% of that market share. How are we going to do this? For the first 5 months, we're going to be developing our product and having our first sales at month number 7 via 12 system integrators, such as Convergys, who are going to be receiving 20% commission of the sale price. Our expected sales growth in terms of number of licenses is going to be 5% monthly with a 5% churn rate. This graph just goes back to what I just said in terms of the number of licenses we're expecting to sell. And the blue represents the new licenses and the red represents the renewal licenses. We're expecting to break even at month number 19 with a sales revenue of $55 million at year 5 with a net profit of $35 million. This is just a quick look at our profit and loss, and just wanted to point out that at year 2, we have a sales revenue of $1.5 million, and at year 3, we have a net profit of $3 million. Now, having said all that, we are seeking an investment of $800,000. And in conclusion, with cybercrime on the rise more than ever, your most important asset, which is your data, is at its highest risk. You need PACS. Protect your data. Get PACS. Thank you.
Nice presentation. Could you talk a little bit about your decision to go after the corporate market versus the consumer market?
Well, we decided that that would be a good starting point because the companies can use the service, can use our service not only for their employees, but for their own customers. So if it's a bank, you have their banking customers plus their employees. So we're getting 2 for the price of 1 as a starting point.
And as a follow-up to that, why specifically that $50,000 to $5,000 or 5,000 employee level? What characteristics are there about those size companies that make them more attractive to you?
Well, because we're not well known, we're a startup company, we decided to start kind of sort of like in the lower mid range. You know, companies that are smaller, who have less than 50 employees probably don't have the budget for our service. And then companies who have over 5,000 employees probably have their own IT department.
So a lot of your deployment strategy, your go-to-market strategy is predicated on these integrators that you'll deploy through. So talk a little bit about the value proposition to those integrators, what's your pitch, and at the end of the day, what's your expected close rate when you go to these integrators with your product?
We are offering the integrators a 20% commission, and it increases the value of their product because they are offering our service. I know that's the answer.
Yeah, could you go back through the competitive landscape for me and just describe how you're going to differentiate yourself from the other competitors?
Well, we are already different than our competitor. Again, the competitor, if you go to any of the password generators out there, they're giving you random passwords. You're not going to remember it because it has nothing to do with you personally. You didn't answer any questions. You have no connection to these generic random passwords. Now, our service, you're answering certain questions. Again, this is all predicated on the company that we sell it to. Each company is going to have their own set of parameters. What questions to ask, how many need to be answered by their employees, and so on and so on. But the concept is you have certain questions that are not questions that are out there for people to know or see. For example, we're not going to be asking you, what's your social security number? Why? Because that information is already out there for hackers to find out. If I ask you, what is your favorite color? A lot of people, or most of the people out here, are not going to know that. Only the people close to you. So the questions that are going to be asked are going to be questions that are prevalent to you and to your personal life. What's your favorite drink? What's your favorite movie? And so on and so on. Based on those answers, you get a set of passwords. At some point,
Can I ask you about the pricing again? It's $12 per user per year?
yes.
And so as a bank, let's say every customer will be charged $12, every employee $12 a year?
No. We're going to be selling it to the company. So
$12 a year?
yes, per user, per license.
Well, when you say user, you're talking about the institution as the user?
Yes.
I think you're missing an opportunity.
Sorry, our users, it's not an institution. We're selling for employees of this institution. We charge for license. It's from 50 to 5,000 employees. We're going to negotiate with institution, but institutions represent his end users.
I think you have a good idea. It's definitely, as a bank, this is needed.
Yes, and we have plans to develop model apps later, and we're going to develop touch with health market later. We just present the first step.
Why would you use it more than once? Why would you use it more than once?
Because some companies have, certain companies, organizations ask you to renew your password every so often for safety reasons.
Most financial institutions do that.
I'm sorry?
I was going to say most financial institutions require you to change.
Yes, and also government agencies. Every 3 months, they ask you to change your password.
Nice job. We have the breakdown. I ask you to please be back in 10 minutes. And